Small Business and Community Affairs program dedicated to highlighting the work of entrepreneurs, business owners, and businesses that serve the residents in the East Orange, New Jersey community. I am Anna Banks, your host. And today's program is sponsored by Thrive Leadership Institute in collaboration with the East Orange Business Association. Our show airs on Tuesday evenings at 6:30 p.m. on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. Now, with Black Friday and Small Business Saturday fast approaching in the month of November, there's a lot of excitement stirring in the small business community around the country, as well as here in our own city of East Orange. So you just cannot imagine my excitement to have in our studio today none other than our own East Orange Mayor Ted Greene, who is not only the mayor, but also an entrepreneur. So this day, we're going to have a conversation about the small business agenda. But before we get started, let me just tell you a little about our guest today. Now, there is a very, very long bio. We probably would not have enough time to read that, all of his accolades and the things that he's done. But I'm going to try to trim this and still do a good job in introducing our mayor. So Mayor Ted Greene was raised in East Orange, New Jersey. He attended East Orange Public Schools and he graduated from East Orange High in 1981. He furthered his education by attending Cheney University in Pennsylvania, where he majored in business management. Ted has been active in East Orange politics and civic affairs for over 25 years. Now that's longevity. On January 1st, 2006, Ted was sworn in as a member of the East Orange City Council, representing the 3rd Ward. It was a major milestone in his career that has been dedicated to public service. However, on January 1st, 2018, he was sworn in as the 14th mayor of the city of East Orange after winning an overwhelming 96% of the vote. He was reelected, as all of you know, in 2021 and was the first mayor to run unopposed in several decades. Now that in of itself is a major accomplishment. Mayor Greene recognized in his early years the need for positive programs and activities for youth in East Orange. And as a result, in 1990, he founded the Greene School of Martial Arts. Not only does he provide instruction and discipline in the martial arts, he also offers enrichment and mentoring programs, as well as cultural activities for his students. He is a proud member of the Eta Phi chapter of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, and it was recently appointed a board member of the New Jersey Conference of Mayors. Kudos to you, Mayor Greene.
Thank you.
I'm not going to just end right there because he's also a very family-oriented man. Mayor Greene is married to June Greene, and I've noticed it was like 28 years, is it? 28 years. He is the father of Eric Lamar and Saladin, and the grandfather of 4. So you can see, with all the things that he has on his plate, his hands are full. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Spotlight on East Orange Business, Mayor Greene.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Oh, goodness. Well, we're honored to also have you with us. So I just want to really start our session today just by, again, congratulating you
Thank you.
on your reelection to another 4 years here as our mayor of East Orange. You know, we just look forward to so many great things from you and your administration.
Thank you.
So, Mayor Greene, how has being a lifelong resident of East Orange and now its mayor helped you and a business owner? I don't want to leave that out. How has that prepared you for actually your position as mayor?
Yes, and again, thank you for the platform tonight, and thank you for that question. Listen, first of all, I'm grateful to this community for really giving me an opportunity to serve. I'm grateful for a community such as East Orange who really nurtured me to be the young man I am now. You know, I say young man, but but I am. I'm so grateful for the city. I'm grateful for my parents who chose to live in the city of East Orange, and more so my grandparents who really, when we moved here on Steuben Street, it was their house that my father purchased later on in life, and that really gave me this opportunity to serve in this community, grow in this community. And then here I am. I brought started a business here and brought a piece of property here in this community. And from a very young age, my father always instilled in all of us, my sisters, my brothers, that we have a responsibility, right, in our community. He constantly drove that, like, hey, you're in this community, you have a responsibility. You're a young man. When we was younger, you have responsibility to humanity. And I watched both of them all my life give back to the community. My father, who graduated from Shore University and then was a teacher for over 32 years until the time God called him. My mom, early education. And I watched my grandmother, who always worked in the church, and my grandfather. So it basically, the foundation came from my grandparents and my parents. And then when I opened the business, and honestly, my father and I started that business together. Then he turned it over to me. But he showed me the ropes of how to be a business owner, how to manage money. I'm gonna say that again: how to manage money. We didn't have much going into this karate school, but he used to always say that the number one thing you have to do when you start your business, because it's your name on it, and you have to give good customer service, and you have to make sure that you open on time. And even though you may not make a lot of money in the beginning, pay your bills, right? And treat the now the students in a very respectful way. And one of the things that and very quickly that we want to do in our community is that find a way, how do we nurture kids through the martial arts? I've been in martial arts since I was 4 years old. And through my training and the philosophy of the martial arts, that really gave me my foundation of my discipline and how to really go about being disciplined when I open my business.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And that you've now used those skills to transfer into running the city of East Orange. And I
Yeah.
have to say, they say in full transparency, I asked the mayor, well, I asked his staff to please make sure that he was on by 6:15 so that we could do our studio checks and all of that. Well, here it was. I jumped on at about 5 after or so, and Mayor was already there. And so, that so to me that just speaks volumes, and I just really just appreciate that. So let's go on to a couple of other questions that I do have. So we know that the COVID-19 pandemic
Mm.
took a major toll on small businesses throughout the country and also here in East Orange. So what efforts have you and your administration launched to assist small businesses here in East Orange?
Yes, and again, thank you for that question. Look, when this pandemic hit, none of us was ready for it. We had to prepare, and I'm grateful to my administration especially our health department, who was so essential in making sure that we understood what this COVID was. But listen, we all knew when the governor started shutting things down, especially the businesses, and then they had to shut down at a certain time during the evenings. That most small businesses, if you look at them, especially here in the city of East Orange, that's their livelihood. That's how they pay their mortgage. That's how they pay their rent. That's how they send the kids to school. That's how they really. That's their lives. As I said earlier. And as weeks went by, we made sure that we came together and had to start saying, listen, we know that essentially that we can't have these business out of business at a time where they need the community. And we actually went to work. We went to work with our administration, went to work with council, and we started coming up with creative ways. One of the biggest things that we did, we made sure that the folks in the community supported East Shop Local. We kept emphasizing, even though businesses had to close down at 6 o'clock, we kept emphasizing East Orange Shop Local. East Orange, even though you have to, stores are closed and you can't go inside, shop local, eat local, go to our local businesses, stop at the local business and pick up this. And we drove that. And the reason why, we knew the responsibility of our small businesses are the foundation of a city like East Orange. And look, I had to close down for 6 months. So a little different because I don't sell food. We have people there teaching martial arts and physical fitness. So we were shut down completely. But what I didn't want to do in terms of the businesses here in the city of East Orange, we didn't want these people suffering. So again, we was reaching out to the state, the county. We was reaching out to everybody to find resources and assistance to make sure that our businesses understood that we was here for them. On our weekly town hall meetings, we drove, hey, shop local, go, you need bread, you need water, you need soup, you need Lysol, shop local, and we was driving that, and we had an opportunity to also, through our small businesses program, where there was grants that was available for our small businesses up to $10,000 to just help them out and maintain for these 8 to 9 weeks. We also made sure that our small businesses in our community was able to get local supplies when people would call us and say, we're offering this, we're offering that. Because I know how important it is for 2 months or 3 months when you're not equipped with the money financially in your bank, to hold off. It gets rough for people. And what we didn't want to do, we did not want to see a number of businesses here closing down permanently. Uh,
Mhm.
and we probably was one of the fewest cities. And, when people was having tough times in East Orange, we were still seeing folks coming in here, opening up and having ribbon cuttings. And it was just, wow, people still want to be here. So we had to take a responsibility and we had to take an initiative and we took it on the road, with our policy planning, the development department. Mark Cheatham played a vital role. And Mayor, we got this business over here, need us to do this, and this business over here. But we wanted to make sure that we took a robust approach. And look, just recently, all of you came in with CRAW, and y'all went around to the local stores and supporting these stores and telling them what y'all trying to do to highlight them. I always believe that when God send good people, honestly, and we're meaningful to what we do, it always reveals that it come out with a good plan. So I think we're on a good road to showing these small businesses that we cared about them.
Well, that's great. That is great to hear. Coming out of your administration, and I do know of the grants that were available that
Yes.
people were able to apply for. So, what other resources are available even now for small businesses
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, and thank you. Look, we constantly going through our grants. We constantly reaching out to the state, and sometimes they probably say, "Man, these Stones is kind of a little greedy here," but we making sure we take care of our community. We did ask our state officials to trickle down some more money for our small businesses. Then look, we got hit with Hurricane Ida, right? Where some of those businesses lost heat and lost electorate, and then we had to come right back and throw some more money behind these folks, right? We had a program at the lower part of Central Avenue where we tried to help businesses with the small facades and things, but we had to flip that into helping them with they monthly rent, and if they was leasing to help these people just maintain and stay in these stores, the light bill, the water bill, and other essentials that they needed to run their business, especially when you're closed down and people have to, shop from your store outside. Sometimes it lessens the volume of people that can go in the store. So we saw that. We saw people where they was generating hypothetically maybe $10,000 a month drop down to almost little to $3,000, So we did everything we can by just pushing people towards those stores. And I honestly, I stayed on the phone with our governor, and I stayed on the phone with the CDC and trying to, urge them to give our folks just another hour to stay open, to help them, or give them another 2 hours and things of that nature. But I wanted to follow the rules, and we did. But again, we right as this date, we worked with our nonprofit organizations, our for-profit organizations. We set out a team of people to work with our faith-based institution if they had programs. We really did everything we can and continue to work with our local government, our local businesses, trying to get assistance for our businesses. Whatever we can, we're pushing it.
That like I said, Mayor, I know some of the efforts that is happening in your administration,
Yeah.
but I think that it's important for our residents to also be aware of it, and to be aware that the city is not just going to, abandon them now that, we're sort of like on the other side, well, somewhat on the other side of Corona.
Yeah,
But we still have the winter to get through, right?
yes, right, man. Knock on wood, knock on wood. I quite often even tell my family, I said, "Boy, God is testing our faith, but you know what? We're not giving up. We're not giving up."
No. There's an old song that says, he brought me this. He didn't bring me this far to leave me.
That's right. That's right.
And so, we do have to hold on to whatever we believe that is bigger than us.
Right.
That will help us to stand through these challenging times.
Yes,
absolutely.
It is. Yes.
So you also mentioned, Mayor, just briefly about even during the pandemic, East Orange made managed to still have several ribbon cutting ceremonies and grand openings for businesses. So can you just share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, listen, we were really kind of like thrown away when, Mark Cheatham and Dan Jennings was coming to me and said, "Man, even during this pandemic, we got a ribbon cutting." Then the next week, man, we got another ribbon cutting. And then the following week, and I was saying, wow, doing this, the hardest times in probably business histories, right? That here we are, got small restaurants opening up. We had bakeries open up. We had restaurants open up. We had drugstores opening up. And I think because when people look at East Orange and really even go through some of the toughest times, I think that we was very relentless when it came to how we pulled together, right? And I think other people outside looked in and said, "Hey, East Orange is hot right now. They got redevelopment going on across the city, and we was pushing first time home buying during the COVID, and we hoping young people and folks move in the city." And I think when you can establish a vision and your mission during some of the roughest times and people see it, I think people say, "You know what? That's the city I want to live in." We had a 79% crime reduction, 79% crime reduction, even during the worst times, right? Which everybody should have been in the house anyway, right? So
exactly.
We shouldn't have had none, everybody in the house, and we had to get home 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody was in lockdown. That's right.
We I think we credit that to how we came in office we came in with a mission, we came in with a vision, we came in there with a group of people that really understands how people are attracted to a city such as East Orange. We're a city that's known as like a bedroom community, but again, we're showing people that we want folks here. We want people to move in. We want people to buy these properties and develop them. We want people who want to live in high rises be a part of this community. And I think that from day one, when people saw us in our first state of the city, how we was driving, that East Orange is one community, one goal, and that goal is progress. And we drove that. And I say to my staff all the time, how did we get over 20 some businesses during a time where people was like, didn't know where they was going to get the money from, didn't know how they're going to get this done, and what's happening with their children's tuition and rent. And they still blessed us with their presence here in the city of East Orange by opening a business here. And we're grateful for those businesses, and we really always want to show them by when we do have different grants and different state money come in, we always reach out all the time.
Well, that's great. And, as we were talking, just before the show, that's one of the reasons why, I'm doing what I'm doing. As I mentioned, I have a small business also. It is Thrive Leadership Institute. And that's the one who, and we're one of the co-sponsors of Spotlight on East Orange Business. But one of the reasons why we're doing this is because as a small and growing business ourselves, we know how important it is to get the word out about business, about your small business. And this becomes a wonderful forum for our community to learn more about our small businesses here in East Orange. And so,
yes.
So we're just happy that, we all can work together. Like you said, it's really about progress.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And listen, I quite often say this, right? We don't grow unless we grow together, right? We don't grow unless we pull together, right? And I always say that when we sit down at the table and we meet and we talk about some of the ideas that all of us have, and we come together and say, you know what, let's see if it worked. It always going to come out in a way that's positive. That's just my own philosophy, right? And that's what we've been doing. We don't get it right all the time, but I tell you, during this pandemic, we have really been robust and very, methodically making sure that our small businesses know that we would never give up on them. Because listen, our former president, our President Obama, said that in any community, small businesses are going to come to a time where small businesses is going to be the thriving point of urban cities. And you're starting to see that. You're starting to see the mom and pop stores, the small restaurants where maybe 10 people can go in, but we're utilizing those restaurants. And you see the growth where they're starting to not only hire their family members, because that's what small businesses do. It's an opportunity to, help your family, but also help our local young people and adults also get an opportunity. And, look, we're doing it, and I'm grateful.
Yes. In fact, I'm on the alert system here for East Orange. I get all the press releases.
Okay.
And I just saw today it was posted that Mayor Ted Greene launches pilot at-risk youth employment program.
Yes.
So, so Mayor, you definitely, you and your administration seem to put your money where your mouth is. And that's important today.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Listen, we know how important it is to, like I say, with the small businesses, but also give folks an opportunity for employment, right? Our goal is to move around small businesses, commercial, residential, all of it goes together. We want people, when they look at East Orange, we want people, if they're coming from New York or coming down from Newark, we want them to stop right here. We have a major project in the city of East Orange. We got well over like $1.5 million now invested in the city, right? But we have a major project for $400 million redevelopment that's going to go up on Main Street, and we're excited about it because of the opportunities that it's going to give folks in our community, job opportunities, training opportunities, apprenticeship opportunities, but also many of these small businesses that has been really very steadfast, they get an opportunity and hoping that they can move in that new complex and say, you know what, wow, I can expand a little. Now I can go from maybe 10 seats in my restaurant and go to maybe 25 or 30. And those are the goals, right? We're hoping people could come from all over and want to eat here and dine here. And our small businesses say, you know what, it was worth the wait here in the city of East Orange.
Well, a lot of things don't come overnight, as we all even you just keep living, and
Yes,
very, very quickly that things don't come overnight.
that's
But
right.
Mayor, as a business owner yourself, you also know about the growing pains and the rewards of being an entrepreneur. So, do you have any advice for people who are seeking to open a business here in East Orange?
Yes, look, the number one thing is think about the type of business that you want to um, come in with, right? And then you have to have what we call a business plan, right? And look at the area where you want to put this business, right? And look at the population of the folks who is going to utilize your business. Look at the target population also. But also, if you can, don't be afraid to take a few workshops, right? Because you want to make sure that the business you open up, that, if you're going to do LLC, if you're going to do solo proprietor, all those things is a factor, right? And then you want to make sure that, really you have an accountant, making sure that I tell people all the time, when you open a business, if you can, at least try to have 6 to 8 months of that rent. Try to do that because you never know in between those 6 months what can happen, right? And it's a sacrifice. When you open a business, it's a sacrifice, it's a commitment, morning, noon, and night. And you're competing against other different establishments that you have to understand that, especially in our community, that you have to have a product that's going to sell, right? And that people are going to attract themselves to, right? And look, when you do open up, God willing, and things may not go right the first month, you may say, wow, nobody's coming in, nobody's doing this, but you can't give up. If that's your dream and that's your something that you always want to work hard for, don't give up. Look, there's some people that have been in business maybe 5 years before they really start really seeing the residuals of their labor, right? Seeing some money. You probably saw the money where you could pay the rent, pay for if it's food to get your supplies in, and then you look up, you may have maybe $400 left after all that. But guess what? Hard work, dedication pays off, and you gotta stay committed. We've been in business now and Green School Martial Arts. My dad passed on, but I still have it since 1987, right? When he turned it over to me, and we still here. But it's not easy. There's some days that we looked up as owners of the business and said to ourselves, "Hey, man, ends ain't meeting, right?" And then we had to start utilizing our own money, our personal money. But if you committed and you dedicated and it's your dream, don't let nothing stop you from persevering, right? There are going to be some dark times, but when the light shines on the good times, you'll know it. But just stay committed to your craft. Stay committed. That's the thing. And listen, God knows what's best for all of us, but you're going to do a lot of praying to keep that business going.
You better tell the truth.
You're gonna call on God a whole lot. Lord, give me this money, help me stay. And I always believe, a firm believer, that He hears our prayers. But you got to be committed.
That's right. That is right. Not only send the money, but keep me healthy.
Yes, I know, but those 8 months tore me up over there. But we persevered. We persevered. We persevered.
That is for sure. And so, just one last question in this area. So, I know it's early. I mean, January is not even here yet.
Yes.
But because you have you're building on your track record from the last 4 years. Can you just share just one thing with us that our East Orange business community can expect to see from your administration, say over the next 12 months?
Yeah, so we're closing out here. It is November, right? And
Mhm.
I started already trying to bring my staff together, my department heads, to really look at how much we accomplished in the last 3.5 years, almost 4 years, if I can say,
Mhm.
and look at our long-term goals, our short-term goals. One of the things we want to do, we want to continue the effort in terms of engaging our community, right? Engaging our small businesses, our big businesses, and if there's businesses here in the city of East Orange that I may not know about, we're trying to engage them. Our goal is, look, to keep our city safe, keep our city clean. We want to be like any other city. Have one of the biggest food festivals. We just had a taste of the city where local businesses came out. We want to expand that. We want to expand where when people drive through the city of East Orange, asking different business owners and owners of these buildings to look at change the facade so my sign can look like your sign, like anywhere else we go, and have a coordinated effort. We also want to make sure that when money trickle down, we want to be able to help our small businesses and keep them afloat. We want to be able to through the city patronize their businesses. We can't do everybody, but if we all reach out and do a little here, a little there, so that is like a goal that we're trying to reach. But through organizations like yours, also, Ms. Ann Banks, that y'all guys came in with Claw and Thrive, and y'all went out and helping us. It helps us, and that's the partnership, right? The
Yeah.
partnerships we're going to have to build on. We're going to continue to build on partnerships. We want to continue to help all of you get the message out, and we have this blueprint, right? We always think of this thing like the yellow brick road, right? And everybody want to go up the yellow brick road and be successful. And that's my goal. I'm very passionate about this city. My desire that I always had from day one, me being a elected official, hasn't yet left me. I tell people all the time, they say, man, how you just keep that level? And I told them, I said, listen, I love this city, right? And when somebody has given you something and bless you with voting for me, because people don't have to vote for me. They can not vote for me. And I'm always grateful. My wife you constantly say that, but I am. I'm grateful for somebody could go out and say, you know what, Ted Greene, I believe in you. I believe in you as a small business. I believe you as a medium business. I believe in you as a homeowner or a renter, because everybody included. We are a very diverse city, but we're going to drive. We're going to drive this year. How do we reach more people, especially these businesses, right? And how we get them to come out and participate. I want to have one of the largest business forums where people come out and we talk about who you are, what you offer, and see how we can collaborate, right? How we can kind of do some joint ventures together, and we all grow from it, right? Not in the competition mode. But look, everybody want to make money. I understand that. But I think that when one of us or two of us or three of us are doing some business with different companies, even outside the city, and we say, look, if we doing 50,000 and you doing 30,000 and another person doing 20,000 hypothetically, and this company is not giving back, then with all our money, we can go to that company and say, if you don't give back, then we're going somewhere else. So we have to work together on those things. So that is just one of my objections that I want to, and long-term goal that I want to do. I want to, focus on bringing these, and I want to see people throughout whatever sitting down in restaurants in these stores. I want folks to go over to Sissy Tyson School of Performing Arts and do a Broadway show, and they come out and they be able to go and sit and eat dinner with their girlfriends or husbands or boyfriends. I want young people to be able to enjoy our community, enjoy the businesses here. And I want to look at a young folk from Sissy Tyson School of Performing Arts or Campus High School or STEM Academy before they go to school, where they working in these businesses and they're able to financially help themselves and their families, right? Those are things that I am thriving for in 2022.
That sounds great. You can count me in and Thrive Leadership Institute.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So, Mayor, we've come to, kind of like a fun time of the show. It's a time that I call let's play Would You Rather. Are you game?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. So, Mayor, would you rather have a pause or a rewind button in your life?
Woo. I'll take the pause a little because it'll give me time to kind of rejuvenate and get some rest. So I'll take the pause. I just want to pause a little bit, just for a moment.
I got you.
The rewind. I'm grateful for everything that has come my way, the good times, the bad times, the in between times. I'm grateful for if I had to rewind, because we're on a great course here in the city of East Orange. So I'll take the pause.
Okay, you'll take the pause. All righty. So the next question is, would you rather have a full-time chef or a full-time maid?
I take both. Look, woo. Listen, I only can choose one, right? Okay. Look, we're running sometime, as a mayor. Wow. I mean, I'll take, well, I'll take, I'll take the maid because sometimes, boy, you running and leave the house. No, I take the chef. I would love to come home in the evening and the first lady don't have to cook and I don't have to cook. And we got somebody there that we can say, hey man, give me, a steak with filet mignon with some potatoes and some greens. Yeah, I'll take the chef.
Okay, the chef.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mayor, would you rather have be an extra in a Oscar-winning movie or the lead in a box office bomb?
I would love to star in you say Broadway?
No, it's a box office. In other words, so the show, whether it's on Broadway or not, it flopped.
Okay, give me the question again.
So would you rather be an extra in an Oscar-winning movie or the lead in a box office flop?
I'll take the first one. I'd rather be in a extra in a Broadway show. I don't want to flop. I'm a winner. I can't flop. I'm a winner.
Okay. Oscar-winning movie. Okay. So we only have two more. So would you rather stay the age you are physically forever or stay the way you are financially forever?
Woo. Look, I know that all of us are going to leave here one day. Financially, ever, no, I mean, financially, I'll take the finance. I would like to stay financially, well, not forever, but since there's a crisis, I want to.
You your negotiation skills.
With that one, but I'll take the financial. I know we can't be here forever, but ever is ever. But I'll take the financially.
Okay, all right. And this is the last one, Mayor. So would you rather live a peaceful life in a small cabin in the woods or a drama-filled life in a mansion in a big city?
I'll take the small cabin with less drama. Listen, there's always time in our lives that we just want to say, you know what? forget the drama. As older people and as adults, we always tell, look, I don't want all that drama in my life right now. Been there, done that. So when we get some quiet time, we good at that. We good. Now I take the quiet time in a little cabinet.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for playing Would You Rather with us, Mayor.
Yeah, I like
It's been fun. I hope it's been fun for you too.
it. Has been. It has been. It has been. I
Oh
appreciate
goodness. So, before we wrap up tonight, do you have any closing comments that you'd like to make to our East Orange residents, and to the business community?
Yes, yes. First, as I said earlier, I'm very grateful and honored that you have given me this platform this evening, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. When anybody asks me to come on their shows or they show, I'm always grateful, and thank you for the conversation tonight, because a lot of times, as mayors and as elected officials, we're always trying to really get our message out of what we're doing in our community. It's not my community; it's our community, and shows like this give us that platform. So I just want to give you a hand also for allowing us to do that this evening, and for um, the great questions tonight. Look, God gave me another opportunity to do another term. I'm still passionate about moving this city forward. I still have the same passion I had from day one as being a councilman. I still have the same tenacity and drive to make sure that we better this community, better people's lives in our community. But I quite often say this: I cannot do it by myself. I do ask the community, those who are on tonight, thank you for joining in. But I do ask all of you to come and help. Come and share your ideas. Come and share some things that would better our community. Come help us help grow our young people and give them some nurturement. All you experts who are retired, like you're a retired teacher or a retired doctor, or you're a retired contractor, or you're a retired anyone, we asking for you to come in and volunteer. We will give you the space and help our young people. We have a saying that we are the village, so we need the people to be that village, right? We are growing this city, right, every day. We came this year with our budget at $151 million budget, with no tax increase on the municipal side, 2 years in a row. We are a city and administration who we take pride in what we do. We always want to be fiscally sound. We don't take our residents or the people that pay our salaries for granted. We want to work hard, and we're going to continue to work hard. I hold my administration accountable. If I got to go out and do mail on the block and knock on people's doors, you better bet the sure they're going to come too. But not only that, we just want to show people that when people talk about government, that there's good government. There's people who really want to get things done. There's people who care about the people in this community. And I'm hoping for the last 4 years in this community that I didn't disappoint people, right? And I hope that I did everything I can to show that we're not an administration that is afraid to talk to our constituents, be a part of our constituents, and go to bat for our constituents, because that's what we did. So again, we're going to continue to fight hard and make sure that whatever is good for any other city is good for East Orange. But we just need our residents to buy into helping, being a part of it, and I guarantee we will prevail.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Mayor Greene. You mentioned the economic development. You mentioned some of these. Is there a contact or department that especially our business owners can reach out to for additional information for the things that are going on that will affect them?
Yes, and thank you for that. Let me just start off with the mayor's office. We have the mayor's office of Constituent Services. They can call 973-266-5151. That's for any concerns, any issues. When we talk about our redevelopment here in the city of East Orange, you can call the Department of Policy Planning and Development. That's Mr. Dan Jennings' office. That telephone number is 973-266-5118. That's the planning department, policy planning and development. He would talk to you about that. Also, we are pushing hard the mayor's office of employment and training, where we're providing folks in our community to get involved with CDL training, sewer training, where you get those certifications. We're offering folks to be a part of our DPW department, and we are, second chance, ex-offender friendly, because I believe in giving other folks an opportunity and a second chance because somebody gave me a second chance. So you can call our Department of Constituent Services, again, the number I gave out earlier, 973-266-5151. We're open for any conversation that help our city and help the people of our community.
Well, thank you. Thank you again for joining us, Mayor Ted Greene.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for coming on tonight.
And so thank all of our viewers for joining us for another edition of Spotlight on East Orange Business. Spotlight on East Orange Business is a business and community affairs program, and I am Anna Banks, your host. This program is sponsored by Thrive Leadership Institute in collaboration with the East Orange Business Association. And we air every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Now, if you are an East Orange-based business or you provide services to East Orange, then please drop us a line if you'd like to be a guest on Spotlight on East Orange Business. You can reach out to us by emailing us at hello@thriveleadershipinstitute.com. That's hello@thriveleadershipinstitute.com, and put in the subject guest for Spotlight on East Orange Business. And so, as we wrap up tonight, I just want to again thank Mayor Ted Greene for his participation and for letting us interview him and just have a conversation with him the week after he won his second term. Now, that is such an amazing experience. And so take care, everyone. We will see you on our next Spotlight on East Orange Business. Good night and take care.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.